Hi friends and greetings for the day. Welcome back to another live session of our channel where we look forward to get your queries and respond to your questions in this live session. So we are back again. Every Saturday we connect between 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. for an hour to look forward to your queries and questions about ISTQB certifications or maybe related to testing. And you are free to share any of your questions and I'm here to analyze them and definitely provide you necessary answers for that. So I'm back again to all of you and definitely looking forward to listen to a lot of your queries and questions and looking forward to provide the resolution to them at the same time. So go ahead and if in case you have any questions, what you want me to ask, you are free to drop them in the live chat here and let me know so that I can pick it up, let everyone know about your question and respond to that. Okay, we are getting the very first comment of the evening is hi Neeraj, is Shruti Bhakri. Hi Shruti. It's been a long time. I remember you from one of my session. How are you doing? And I'm not sure we got any update on your examination. So were you able to take up the examination and what happened to that? So Shruti is basically one of our candidates from one of my trainees, and we really had a good conversation over the training, and we just remember a few of them like insights from the session. So that's where I remember her, and it's really good to have you here on the live session. I've been waiting to share this with you that I have passed my exam on the first attempt last week. Congratulations, and thank you so much for taking some time out to be a part of this live session and letting us know that you have completed your foundation level finally. So congratulations once again, Shruti. And go ahead. And of course, there is a lot to explore in testing in your journey as you'll be kicking off with your journey with testing. So do let me know if you get stuck at any point of time and if you want to explore any more thing about testing. And she also says big thanks to you only for all your hard work. No, not exactly 100% credit comes to me. You have put your equal effort in order to understand all the concepts and pass this examination. So I do give you a big thanks for putting your equal effort to make me successful in my trainings to help you all. Okay. And your book and mock test have helped a lot. So thank you so much for that. Of course, this I would accept as a compliment that, of course, my book would have given you a lot of input as it is quite detailed and helps you to understand a lot of different concepts from the testing point of view. And thank you so much for all your recommendation and feedback here. This means a lot to a lot of our viewers, and that gives them a reference that yes, people have done it, then definitely I can also do it. And it acts like an inspiration and motivation to a lot of our viewers on the channel. So thank you so much, Shruti, for coming here and sharing your uh, thoughts and recommendation about the content, what you referred. You are the best. Thank you again. So you are so much, just like, thankful to you for sharing that valuable feedback. And it's just not that I'm trying to be best. I'm not still the best. Of course, there are a lot of many things which I have to work upon and be, called as the best maybe later in some time. But thank you so much for giving that valuable input there. And I just look forward to as an inspiration to these words from you to keep up my good work for all of the viewers across the world and help them as much as possible. So yeah, thank you so much again for being a part of our live session and just letting us know about your updates. So yes, team, looking forward to others for their questions and queries. If you may have anything to share with us, if in case you have questions about ISTQB certifications, be it foundation, advanced level, or a specialist certification, be it anything, just feel free to drop that query here, and I'm here to assist you. At the same time, if in case you have any kind of questions related to testing altogether, you may talk about the automation testing tools, you may talk about what exactly testing in general is, how about the career path in testing, you can definitely put across any of your questions here. And this live session is exclusively to answer that. So just make use of this opportunity the best and make sure that you put across your queries to me so that I can help you and respond to you well before you can start applying them in your life or professional career. Also, to add, there's a very great coming to an end, that is the Test Manager Certification series. After a struggle of almost around 4 months, we are finally coming to the end of the Test Manager tutorial series. But to be frank, by the time I was about to complete the chapter 7, that's the last chapter, I already got a few comments and updates from some of our viewers that they have passed through the tutorials. So I think I'm good to recommend you all that Test Manager tutorial series can be very helpful if in case you are planning to go with the Test Manager certification, and look forward to the same. We have another few tutorials remaining from this series, which is from the people skills and communication, which is very quite self-explanatory. That's the reason some of them didn't wait for me to complete the tutorial series and appeared for it, because people skills, of course, you know that what exactly communication is, what is motivation is, how to recruit people, and lot many other things are there from the management point of view. And people don't really need a tutorial for that. These are like content which are very self-explanatory, and we will be definitely coming to an end by next week. We will be completing and signing off with the Test Manager tutorial series, and post that I have put a poll on my community page. So go ahead and look into that. I have nominated some of the other certifications for my next tutorial series. If you like one of them, or you are looking forward to one of them as a certification, do go ahead and vote for that, because I always pick up based on your recommendation and suggestions the next tutorial series, and based on the number of maximum votes given to any of the certification will be my next tutorial series. So just make sure that you go and cast your vote for that particular poll, and recommend for your upcoming certification. Okay, we also have another comment coming in from Shruti, that just a quick question, Neeraj, please. Do you have any video about interview questions as well, as so I can start preparing for the next steps? Not exactly, because I think I have not targeted them yet to create interview questions, because I think I have quite a little busy schedule with my channel to talk about ISTQB certification and helping people. So maybe later down the line, once I'm done with most of the certifications and I have some time, I'll start with that. So right now, you can definitely find a lot of good sources on YouTube, which are other channels which they provide based on the experience that what type of question and interview can actually happen. So these days, a lot of people are conducting mock interviews with their subscribers. So you can really go ahead and look into some of them. And this is a kind of like trend these days for people to conduct interviews online, as due to the pandemic, a lot of people could not do a lot of works and traveling and doing the training and all. So people have started concentrating on their YouTube channel, to be frank, unlike me, because I have been giving equal effort right from the beginning. So you can definitely go ahead and find out a lot of channels who are talking about the mock interview questions with the live interface to some of the candidates. So you can definitely go ahead and look into that. Okay. But if in case you get stuck with anything, you are always free to reach out to me to get the right answer for certain things. And I'm here to help you. Don't worry about that. Okay, so yes, team, we are just 8 minutes past from my beginning of the session, and we are looking forward to a great live session today as well, as usual. So looking forward to your contributions by asking the questions. So if you've got one with you, please drop that in the chat box. And I'm here completely dedicated with you for an hour time to help you, assist you well, and provide you all necessary answers, what you can actually look forward to. So go ahead and drop me your questions, queries, whatever you may have, and I'm here to respond to them completely, nothing else. So this time is completely dedicated to you from my schedule to answer your questions and help you understand things better. Also, not only the questions, if in case you have any kind of feedback about the content, you have any kind of recommendations, suggestions, completely welcomed to share that with us, so that if in case I find it really helpful for you, I would definitely implement it, and I will definitely try to add that value to the tutorials. Right now, we are getting started with another tutorial series, so I think this is a very good time to share a feedback where I can apply and implement those things right at the beginning of the new tutorial series. So just make sure that if you have got some suggestions with you, you've got some feedback with you, if you've got any kind of inputs which can make this tutorial, because you are the audience, and being an audience, you have been through the tutorials on the other side of it. Because for me, it seems like, yes, I'm delivering the best, but that is my best. But of course, for not all the people, it will be the best thing. So if you think there's something which I can do and make it better for all of you, then do recommend that. Or maybe you are done with the preparation, you would have passed the examination, but you can definitely tell me more about the other people that it can be really adding value if you do something like this or do something like that. Then I would definitely think about it and take it over if it is feasible for me to take it ahead and definitely add value to the entire set of tutorials. So yeah, looking forward to more questions, suggestions, recommendation, anything, whatever you may have for the next few minutes, or I can say more than minutes. It's just like another 40 minutes to go, 40 to 50 minutes of time, and make sure that you utilize the best. Anyways, I think I forgot to wish all of you the happy Easter, which happened yesterday. So of course, I hope everyone is in the good mood of long weekend, which they got. And that's the reason we don't see a good crowd today. But as I promised, I'm here. I may not be available in the following week or sometime because I may be traveling for some of my work. So that's the reason I will let you know. I'll keep posted on the community. That is like when, if in case we will be skipping. If in case we are not skipping, of course, I'll post the routine schedule for the live session as well. So I just have some plans which I might be traveling on. So if in case I'm not traveling, we will definitely have the session. But if in case I do not have the session, I'll let you know. Okay, so yes, those people who are busy with the schedule, if there are questions, feel free to let me know. As usual, we trigger that countdown whenever we don't see a question for a longer duration, like more than 5 minutes. We trigger the time countdown to shut down the session because I would like to, let you go to enjoy your things. If in case there are no questions coming in, we would definitely call off because I don't want to create a session where I'm completely idle, not talking anything and waiting for the question. And then people wonder that his live sessions are completely empty. So that's the reason we want to keep it useful and informative to people who visit this live sessions after the live session gets over. A lot of people watch this video. I've seen in my analytics of YouTube after the live session gets over because not everyone can actually join due to lack of their availability and the time distribution of geographically. So a lot of people watch this live session post live session completion. So as they get a lot of questions from different people to actually address and understand the answers for it. So that's the reason we just try to keep it more interactive. If in case it's going to be idle, then I just trigger a countdown of 5 minutes and we call off the day. We definitely connect. See, as far as we don't have any questions, we can call off the session. But if we have any questions, we will continue the session. Okay, so yep, you're sure to go ahead and make use of this opportunity by sharing your question, concerns, recommendation, feedback, be it anything. Just put it on the chat box and I'm here to help you. So right now, I think the performance certification is getting a lot of hits, a lot of votes from the viewers. So most probably that would be the next thing. But still, the gates are open. You can always vote for your next upcoming certification which you are planning for. And based on the maximum votes, we will pick up the next certification, which is expected to start by the first week of May only. As I told you, I have some travel plans. That's the reason I may not be available. So we will start only in the month of May. That is the first week of it. But meanwhile, I will not keep you idle. I may be sharing a lot of other necessary materials with all of you, which will be helpful in your preparation. Okay, so that triggers my countdown. Let's see if we have got any questions in the next 5 minutes. If there are no questions, we will call off the live session because there's no point being idle here. And if there are no questions coming up, we would like to call off the live session and we'll connect again next weekend But for that, I will have to wait for 5 minutes here, as I give a tolerance of 5 minutes here to see if there are any questions. Okay, there's a question coming in from Zayed. Sir, are there any freelancing site mainly for QA people? I'm not sure if there are anything specific for QA people. There are just two websites which I know and which are quite popular, which everyone will know. Number one is Upwork. Upwork is again a place where you can definitely find, but not testing, because you don't have a lot of such projects in the shelf for testing. Generally, people get the freelancing projects from the point of development or the architecture, that is like administrator settings of certain projects and other things. But testing, I think you rarely find any particular job which is for freelancing. Rather, nowadays companies are looking for freelancing based contract people for 3 months or 6 months time, but they will approach you through LinkedIn or Naukri.com, so any of your job portals. So make sure that you are active there. If you're looking for part-time, you just highlight, instead of full-time you can say part-time, and there are organizations who are looking for part-time testers on contract basis, so better to look forward to that. But I don't think freelancing or the Upwork website provides you any specific job for QA, but there are no specific portals and in such for the QA people who want to get some freelancing work. But of course, your Naukri is very potential these days. It has potential jobs for the part-time as well. It's just that you have to change your setting instead of full-time to part-time. So people can actually search you. The reason you don't get those calls is because right now you are looking for a permanent job as per the default settings and full-time. So that's the reason they don't call you. So you can always change the settings, as you're not looking for a job change, but you're looking for a freelancing project. You can change the settings to part-time or contract instead of permanent. They will definitely reach out to you, as I have seen people getting calls in my family about the part-time jobs from different countries. So you are good to go ahead and make use of it. Okay. And yeah, so I think right now I don't have any suggestions on any website because I don't find anything very helpful there. We have another question from Nazmul Haq. I had questions after ISTQB Foundation passed. Which certificate you recommend? Okay, you have passed the foundation and you're looking for the next recommend. So sorry, I didn't get the question actually. Yes, sure, why not? If in case you're looking forward to get certified with Agile, you have Agile certification called as Agile Tester Extension, and you can find the tutorials on my channel for that. Second, you can look for, if you are working already somewhere, then you know what specific domain you are working with. For example, if you are a mobile tester, you can look forward to mobile certification. If you want to be a performance tester, you can look forward to that. If in case you are looking forward to be a security tester, you have security, or you're working in any of these domains. So we do have domain specific certifications. And on the other hand, we have Agile certification. You can actually look forward to any of these. And in case you are already someone who is having a great experience, like 5 to 6 years of experience, then you can also target test analyst, which is role specific certification, and would invite you to get certified with test analyst, and that would definitely add a lot of value to your portfolio. But if in case you are less than 5 to 6 years of experience, I would recommend you Agile, or I would recommend you specialized certifications, which you can find on istqb.org, or even on my channel. You may find definitely a lot of information about that. Pick up the introduction video of any of the tutorial series, first tutorial, and you can see what exactly the certifications are available, and you can definitely target them. Okay. So Nazmul, you can definitely look forward to Agile or specialized certifications if you are working in any specific domain. Okay. So yeah, that's good. The count is slowly, or I can say gradually, increasing as people are joining in. So if there are any questions, feel free to drop that below. I'm here to address your queries, and your questions may be related to anything, be it certification, testing. I'm here to help you. Okay, Nazmul says, thank you. Tell me about your book. Didn't get a chance to read it. The book basically consists of all the detailed information, which is from the point of testing, of course. And this is not like a tutorial, what you see on my channel, which are very brief, just to keep it short and simple so that people prefer to go to that tutorial. I can be very detailed in my YouTube tutorials, but the only challenge is when people search for any tutorial on YouTube, the first thing they see is not the thumbnail, not the name, they see the duration. If I put the same content in 30 minutes, they don't see it as like, okay, maybe this gentleman would have explained it in detail. But somebody else who has done it in the 15 minutes, they would say, let me go for this because I can cover up this topic in 15 minutes. So this is one of the things which I find from the audience point of view, that you always look forward to a shorter video to understand any technical concept, which is brief. But the way it is brief, because of course not everything can be covered in 5 minutes of time, right? Because if you are trying to create everything in 5 minutes, obviously you will miss out a lot of important information or minor information which is required to understand that. So that's where I realized that I have to keep my video short and simple. Once people get to it, like understand that yes, this person explains everything, then I started slowly making longer videos. If you see, my foundations are shorter, quite shorter compared to my automation engineer certification or test manager certification. You believe me or not, I have all my tutorial series for hardly 5 to 6 hours of duration put together. 5 to 6 hours of duration. But when it comes to test manager, I have already invested 11 to 12 hours of tutorial. 11 to 12 hours. Okay. And now still there are 3, 4 tutorials pending. So that will again add up to another 1 hour. So maybe it will be around 12 to 13 hours of duration. So I'm putting so much effort because now people know me that, okay, this person gives me every and single minute detail. And that's where I'm putting or making my tutorials a little longer. People will have patience to listen to it. So now coming to your point, the book will be much more detailed, uh, Nazmul, that the book will have every single definition, every single concept which I could not explain in my tutorials. So the book will not only help individuals to learn about certification, side by side, it will provide you the necessary information what you need to know that a tester needs to know. Okay, so everything will be there. Even if you go through the book, you can be prepared for the interviews, and definitely it will prepare you for the certification. So no worries. Anyways, you are certified. Congratulations for that. And definitely you can recommend this book to many other people if they are looking forward to. And if they are book lover, probably they will prefer to read a book to prepare for the exam. You can always recommend them. Okay. And other than that, of course, the book is not so detailed as well, like with unwanted information compared to other authors in the market today. My book is quite thin and it's not thick, but considers everything what you need to know from the certification point of view. So you will have all the necessary information, just not missing anything, just not anything unwanted. It's just to the point and will give you all necessary information what you need to pass the examination. Okay. All right. So Shruti also says, I know it's a bit silly to ask, but but okay. I know it's silly, but it's a bit silly to ask this, but how can I start looking for jobs? Any particular place like LinkedIn or something, please? Of course, Shruti, I think you are in UK, so you come back from UK there, so you will have definitely a local portal for applying for the jobs, and you can definitely upgrade your profile there and update it with the testing skill sets what you have, and showcase everything about your testing, knowledge and career, instead of talking about your past, what you have come from. So go ahead with these things and showcase that as a create a profile, interesting profile, which organizations and recruiters will be interested about, and put it into all those job portals. That's the only way by which you can start, and you can look forward to a lot of opportunities, because there are a lot of opportunities in Europe and UK, and you can definitely look forward to any of them. Okay. And right now, mostly everything is working from remote, so nobody will ask you to come down to the office. You can actually start your career sitting right at your home, and you will have great comfort to learn more, because you will be at home. You won't be facing any people. You won't be like having a face-to-face communication quite often. So you will not have that fear that what if I go wrong, right? So you can actually get started with your work right at sitting at your home, and you can have the comfort of referring something while working on certain things. So It's a really great time to get started, and you will definitely get great opportunities. I wish you all the best for that, and go ahead and let me know when you get a job. Okay. Okay, Nazmul also says, can you briefly explain ISTQB Chapter 4 more briefly? It's helpful for students because not many clips explain correctly. I think that would be a difficult job, Nazmul. I'm not sure if you have passed that is relevant at this point of time, but I think my tutorials are quite detailed. I'm not sure about other people or other channels, but my tutorials are quite detailed. So if anyone is looking forward to that, you can definitely share the link with them, that where exactly it is, and they can go ahead and look into the tutorials, because chapter 4 is something which is difficult to be explained with empty hands. Okay, I need a board, I need a marker and other things to explain the techniques, that how exactly it is applied. And this is not something which I can actually cover the entire fourth chapter by just giving the definition of the techniques. So that requires a lot of effort to give you a proper justification, but this is, I think, not required right now, because that would definitely take a lot of time, and there are tutorials which are quite detailed. So you can, if you are interested to explore more about the techniques, you can definitely watch the tutorials there, and it will answer all your questions. Okay. I'm looking forward to your Agile extension clips. Yeah, sure. All the very best, Najmul. I'm always there to assist you. Go through all the tutorials of Agile extension, and I will definitely love to answer if you have any questions during the learning period. You can just drop me a comment on any of the video, and I would respond to that. If not, definitely you have this live session where you can ask your queries and questions and get straightforward responses to that. Okay. So all the very best for your preparation on Agile, and do let me know if you need any further help. Okay, and Shruti says, sure, thank you so much again. You're welcome, Shruti, anytime. And Nazmul also says, thank you. You're welcome, Nazmul, and always welcome. There is no limitation to that. So yes, team, again, we come to a halt. I've answered all the questions on my chat box. Looking forward to your queries again. And if you have got one with you, do not hesitate. Do not feel shy that somebody is watching me writing this question. It may be silly, okay, but it is a question for you. As far as it is a question and concern for you, I don't mind, be it anything. Okay, so just feel comfortable. I'm here to respond to you, so I would definitely not make fun of it. So just put it on the chat box, and you are just like an anonymous user right now. Nobody knows who you are. So just drop it, and I'm here to respond to that. And in fact, I don't care, then why others should care? As far as I'm happy to respond to a particular question, then everyone should be happy about it, because tomorrow you never know, they can have a silly question to ask me, right? So just feel comfortable. If you have any question in your mind, it is a question for you, and I'm here to answer that. Okay, so again, we come to a hold at the end, like half an hour of this live session, as we don't see any more questions coming in. So we are again triggering a time lapse of 5 minutes. And we'll see if there are no questions in the next 5 minutes, we will call off the session. But if there are questions coming even at the end moment of it, we will continue the session. It's just about you. It's just about answering your queries. So I must be here talking, not be idle, because I don't want to break another person's record who sat idle for 2 hours on a live session and he didn't do anything. Zahid says, sir, what should be in our mind while API testing, like basic points? When talking about API testing, I think you should be more worried about the way you interact with the APIs. And actually, it's not like what should be in your mind. It's more of a like objective driven rather than brainstorming concept. So we are not brainstorming in API testing. It's more of a practical objective driven approach where you have certain APIs to interact with, and you pass the methods like post, get, and other things, and see the response code. If the API is responsive and the response time is well within the defined limit, it's fantastic. But if in case you see abruptions, you definitely report that to the team who created the APIs or the team who procured the APIs from third-party sources. Let them know that things are not so good with us or in my application, and whether the response code is not correct, then what could be the possibility, what kind of parameters are you passing. So there are a few things which you need to take care of, is of course the method which you're using when doing the API testing, because sometimes people go wrong with their methods as well, as a very common practice. And second is, of course, from the point of the response codes which you get. And the third is definitely the parameters which you pass. So if in case your parameters are sometimes wrong, because most of the time we have observed that people generally go wrong with their passing the values, okay, because they select wrong set of data, and they think that this is a valid set of data to be used for these kind of testing, like testing a particular API. And they only realize it once they evaluate for false negative or false positive kind of thing. And by then you would have already wasted a lot of your time. So keep an eye on these kind of things, that what are you testing, then what kind of parameters are you passing, and considering the response code and response time of the APIs, which basically could be the core objective to add more value from the point of performance. So when you begin, you do highlight these things to your other team members that, okay, the response code is okay, but the response time is increasing, which is not expected. So these kind of things can be definitely given as observations on the API testing. Okay, I hope that meets with your expectations. And if there is anything else, you can definitely drop me another message here. Yassine, go ahead. If you have got a question with you, don't just keep it within. Let me know, and I'm here to address them, answer your queries, and give you the best service possible. Zayed says, thank you, sir. You made us feel comfortable asking any type of question. You're always welcome, Zayed. That's my job. And the only reason I'm coming to this live session is to answer your question. Nothing else. Okay. I'm not having a product to promote. I don't have any agenda to share with you. It's just that I'm here to answer your questions. So I have to make you comfortable so that you feel free to ask me any questions. Okay. You're always welcome. Rakibul, welcome Rakibul. That's been a long time. Hello, sir. Good evening. Hope you are doing well. Can you tell me about SQL testing? Is it refers to specific database like SQL or PostgreSQL? First of all, SQL testing, it is not about testing the SQL. SQLs are used to test the product, that is like running a query and retrieving the output. Like I think we're just talking about some of the API testing concepts if you have been there. So one thing is, of course, you are trying to retrieve information, and SQL become a query language for you to interact with the application. And most of the time, when it comes to certain web services and certain middleware testing, that's where APIs, or sorry, the SQLs will be very important, the query language, and that will help you to retrieve the information from the databases or different layers to test it. As far as you have a UI, you won't need a SQL query, but when you don't have a UI, then you have to test the product, you make use of this. Now, if I'm talking about your concern here, saying that about SQL testing. So here SQL testing might be about that you are testing a database, which is database testing, actually not SQL testing. So testing a database happens all through the queries itself. Now it depends on whether your database is MySQL, Postgres, or MongoDB, or your Oracle. So that can be obviously different. And if it is different, you have different languages. So you can make use of the specific language for that type of database and make use of it. So SQL is related to MySQL, and you can make use of it. Whereas Postgres and MongoDB are more of a NoSQL kind of databases. So they are different. So I think that is what your question says, and I hope I have answered that. So it is more of a database testing, and that's where the SQL will be required in order to answer this. Okay. If in case you have still any queries or any clarification to be done on this, feel free to drop another question, and I'm here to respond to that. Okay, so Rakbo says, thank you so much, Sir Goddess. You're welcome. And let me know if you have anything in future as well. I'm here to assist you. Zayed says, sir, in API testing, how important is to check the optional parameters? It's not so mandatory as far as that is a constraint for your project or the API which you are testing. Sometimes what happens, like for example, I have an API and have a mandatory field which has to be passed, like a mandatory parameters and all, and that anyways you cannot avoid. But when it comes to optional, it is just like the user persona or the interaction of a user with the application that you think it is a possibility that a user can sometime pass this. So completely goes by the user-driven approach that if you think the user is going to make use of such optional features as well, then you just randomly pass some of the values and see the stability of it. But if in case you do realize that this is optional but not quite oftenly used, you can just try with limited number of values. So as far as the criticality is defined for those optional parameters, you add value to it. And if these are not critical enough, you just try with some random values, would be fine, limited values, but not so effective like the way you test the critical ones. So optional is, I can say altogether, is a good candidate of consideration for analyzing the criticality of it. As far as it is critical, you make use of it. If it is not critical, you just add some basic values to check it. Because of course you do have to check. As far as it is optional, you will have to try because you never know when a user goes with that. Because optionals are optionals, but for some people this is an option, right? So people can definitely make use of it, but not everyone. Correct? So, but some people feel that no, I have to provide this information. It is good for me. So I have to test it. So, but yeah, limited values would be more than enough. And for the other one, which are critical in optional, you definitely add more value to it. Okay. All right. So yeah, that's again caught up. So if you have got anything else, don't forget to give a thumbs up to the live session because we want to share this with entire world that there is a session happening here, helping people to get their queries resolved. So more and more people can actually look forward to this live session, and they can definitely be a part of it to ask their questions and get justified. So do not forget to leave a thumbs up on this particular session so that YouTube pushes it further to a lot of people that there is a live session, because I don't think there is any other live session on testing on YouTube happening. So specifically the question answer session. If it is a live session, they will be talking about one or the other topic and you can only drop a chat, but you cannot get an answer to your question. But here we are exclusively to respond to your queries, nothing else. So yes, go ahead and look forward to drop your question as I'm here to respond to that. Yes, team, go ahead. If you have any questions with you, just feel free to drop that in the chat box. I'm here to respond to you. We have another 20 minutes to go from the session and just make most out of this opportunity because we'll again connect only next Saturday. So by then you can definitely make use of the comment box to share your queries and I would definitely respond to that there. Otherwise, definitely we'll have a session again happening the next weekend. But before that, we have some time to go from today's session and make sure that you just try to squeeze as much as possible to take most benefits from this session. When I'm ready to dedicate some time to you, of course, I'm looking forward to you to contribute to it to make it successful. That's it. So, and I'm not forcing you, of course. Not everyone can have a question purposefully. There are a lot of silent listeners here, and I appreciate them as well to be a part of the session because not necessarily you may have a question, but of course, listening to a lot of other questions and resolution to that can definitely add a lot of value to your knowledge. So be a part of it as far as you are getting benefited, and definitely this will add a lot of value to your overall learning and knowledge from the testing point of view. All right, so there's a pause here, and we are just looking forward to some more quick questions to come up. And if there are no questions, we'll be calling off for the day. But before that, I would definitely like to look forward to any more questions coming in the last moments to respond to them. And then we will see if there are no more questions coming up. We would just keep it off. Great, we see more people joining in for some time now, and we are here. Okay, so there's a question from Zayed, says, sir, K6 or test assured? I'm not sure what exactly that means. Maybe I'm not sure about K6. Rest assured, I understand, but what is K6 and what is the question? Can you please reframe it and put it again? You know, I should basically understand what exactly the question is to respond to that. Okay, so seems like there are no updates coming in, and we are just at closure. So, okay, I get it now. So for API automation, K6.io. Not exactly sure about that, but I think rest assured is something good which you can go for, but not into deeper dive on these things right now, to be frank. Maybe I can find out and let you know. Okay, I'll report back on this on the chat box of the live session. You can follow that because I've not gone into that particular details of these, so maybe I have to check on this. You have Postman, K6, I'm not sure. Rest assured is one, and then you have Postman, great. Anyways, we'll look into that. All right, so I think there are no longer questions coming in from the team. So thank you so much, team, for being a part of this live session. And it was really great. And I would definitely like to thank each and every individual for being a part of this live session, because your contribution matters equally to make this live session a great success. By asking your questions, you make this session complete, because I alone, again, cannot make this live session successful without your contributions and your questions. So calling off for the day. So being a part of this, thank you so much. And we will connect again next weekend on Saturday to continue with our live session once again. Don't forget, the time is 7 p.m. Indian Standard Time, and we connect for an hour time to answer your question. And we love to answer any question, be it related to certifications, testing, career path, or anything about testing altogether. Should you have anything, just feel free to be a part of this live session and drop me a question, and you're just a question away, just a chat away to get the response to that. So make sure that you mark it in your calendar that every Saturday, 7 p.m., we connect here to get answer. Okay. So looking forward to the next weekend, and all the best and happy weekend till then. So as usual, as I say and call off the session, thank you so much for watching this live session, team, and being a part of it. Should you have anything else, feel free to comment below. I'm always there to address your queries and answer them well. Till then, keep learning, keep exploring, keep understanding the context. Thanks for being a part of this live session, team, and happy learning. And enjoy your weekend as well. See you next weekend. Take care. Bye-bye.